welcome to week 14 of the Pork and Pez and Pork Show, Dr. Pez and Pork Show. I am Kelly, the Pork Belly Pork, and of course I am joined with Johnny and Dr. Pez. Welcome, guys, to another week of the Pez and Pork Show.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
You all right?
Yeah, doing
Good to be
well.
back.
Yeah. Missed you last week. Of course, Gary, Mr. Groovy, he did
Groovy.
end-up job. I don't think he liked my Seahawks pick, but I'm sure he's laughing today.
Yeah, he definitely is.
As I tried to explain last week, I certainly did not think the Seahawks were the better team, or that I am trying to think I'm some type of overthinker, like I know some type of information. It's just the Seahawks usually win at least once a year. So they lost the first one. I was going with numbers. That was it.
Not anymore, Pork.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah,
Your luck's run out. Stop picking them.
they look like a team that has a lot of potential offensive firepower, that they just haven't hit that next level. But that could be because of the back.
No. Look,
Because Walker hasn't had a great season. Charbonnet hasn't really, actually, he seems to be running well the last few weeks. Maybe that's because he's a bit more fresh.
Effort levels on them two quarterbacks last night, you can't knock it. Ken was doing everything he possibly could to fucking make something happen. Charbonnet was running hard. He had the two big run plays, but then that was it. They just got shut down. They're both injured. They had to play. We've got Kenny McIntosh, a two-time national champ running back, who is now healthy and hasn't seen the field at all. But all the indications, it's not the quarterback. Like, if you watch this team all season, you'll notice one trend. They have a really good opening drive, and then it all disappears. Gino, now Drew. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. It was so fucking safe. It was stupid. It was pathetic. The main problem with this team is the head coach. It's just a fact. It's the head coach. I don't care what anyone says. It's the head coach. It's fact. It's been far too long now. And like I said on my Seahawks podcast, this Seahawks team, they put a new mask on every year. And it's nice and pretty, good looking. But at some point in the season, that mask slips down and the ugly truth comes back that they're just the same team, just with a little bit of varnishing. Same shit.
Yeah,
Same
they
shit
haven't really improved much over the last 5, 6, 7 years, since their dominant few years they had.
Look Ken Walker in the locker room. They asked him, reaction. You could tell he was fuming. He was pissed. DK, everyone on national TV saw that he was fucking raging mad. JSN was fuming as well in people's faces. And you're talking about high caliber people who aren't used to losing. And the wheels are slowly coming off this thing. And everyone can lie to themselves if they don't already believe it. But it's true. The wheels are slowly coming off this thing. All your main players are now starting to lash out. And anyone at all.
That'll happen when you lose, I think 5 in a row now?
4 in a row.
Or is it 4 in a row?
4.
Yeah.
5 next week when we'll get beat off the Eagles.
Oh, you're still better than Johnny.
And I was going to say, I don't think it gets any better next week.
Oh, no. But do you know what's great for you, Pork, is the Eagles now, their last 4 games, they're going to win them all because they're really easy. But then that's the delusion of people. They're the delusional team.
I think, right? They got Baltimore next week. Not the next week, but
no, they've
weeks.
Have they got Baltimore? No, they've got the Seahawks, Giants, Cardinals, Giants. The Eagles.
Well, Giants are Christmas. and they're week 17.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They don't. Who has the Ravens? Is that the Chiefs or the?
The Seahawks. No, you already played them.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
no,
my
we've
gosh.
already played them. I do know who you're talking about, Pork. But all I'm saying there is, it's unfortunate for you guys, but it's good as well because the Eagles have been done by the Niners and yourselves back-to-back weeks. Them last 4 games are gonna. The national media will be
49ers.
on the back
So
again.
I said the 49ers have still to play them.
Yeah, the 49ers. I knew one of the 10-3 teams were playing the Ravens. Yeah, the Eagles have such an easy schedule. Oh my!
But that's the myth. I think it's actually because you've got the Bills and the Dolphins back to back, and the Lions.
Yeah.
But I think the Lions are falling off. So it's a bit it's a bit crap for yourself because you're not going to win the division because of the comparisons in matchup. But that will blind enough people that the Eagles are back because they won 4 on the bounce to finish the season, and then I think it benefits you because they're not that good this year. And I think with you sticking it to him last night, I think the Cowboys could potentially actually get it over the line this year. Whether you can get past that 9 to 10.
Game. It would be nice to make it to the NFC Championship round for the first time.
I think you will. As long as you don't fall on the Niners side of the draw, I definitely could see the Cowboys Niners. But
that's going to be tough because if we're the 5 seed, we would be playing. I think I don't know. I'd have to look. Yeah, I don't want to play the Niners until the last bit there, but the Niners are looking good. Purdy's looking like a Montana. CMC is looking like James Brown. I was wrong on my McCaffrey prediction this year. I thought he was going to be hurt and not get 1,000 yards, and look at this guy.
Do you know the funny thing about last night is that very first play where he went for 74 yards? I watched that, and that clock, to me anyway, that clock was on double zeros for easy more than a second, and no delay of game. He just given it.
I did not see that one. I did not wake up until about 5:30 to watch the games because I had a choice. I can either stay awake and watch all of Red Zone and then go to sleep and miss Sunday Night Football, or I can wake up around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then watch the Red Zone for the afternoon games and then the Sunday Night Football game. Of course, with the Cowboys, I'm going to watch Sunday Night Football. So I was asleep during the first set of games.
Yeah, well, they came back well after the run as well. Though, kind of went down the field, scored a touchdown. I thought, oh, this is going to be a good game. Drew Lock, not too bad, to be honest. Better than bloody Gino lately. So
very, very surprising, Drew Lock. But there's one telling image, like a few I've got a Seahawks Discord, and a few of them were saying like Drew looks so slow, with his reads and stuff. Probably like with a day's full training with the ones, it probably would happen. But it's a telling thing for me. They call a timeout. He goes to the sideline. Waldron starts talking to him about the play, and Pete just comes barging in, almost puts his hand up like that to Waldron to stop him talking so he can talk to. It's like, how can Drew even function when he's got 2 people trying to tell him something at the same time? That's how dysfunctional it looks. It's just crazy. But on more positive news, I should be, and I swear to God, Johnny, if I lose this game because of your wild, wacky scoring, I'm done with it. But I should be 2 wins on the bounce. I should be 2 wins on the bounce in the Oakley Bowl. Come on.
Yeah.
What division are you in again? What one do you in? I did see this morning.
Queuing Hill. I'm on 204 and I left Pickett in like a mong. I'm still on 204 points.
Oh, my.
And I've got Henry still to play.
Oh,
Come
nice.
on. Dead and buried, but we're still going to pad that record.
Well, I've also got Al Shair to play as well.
Oh yeah, dude,
As a
owner.
defensive
That's
player.
easy. 20 points.
So you're basically 60 points clear. He's only got D-Hop. So no matter how crazy my scoring is, he's not going to get 6 mil, probably 80 points.
And with Henry still to play. Yeah.
I could do like a score. I could do a score correction if you want to give you like John just looking at for 60 points.
It would not
that,
not surprise me.
I don't do the score correction. Sleeper does. I just amend them. But no,
well,
it's a
my
good
team recovered from a 1-5 start to finish 7-7. I'm actually quite pleased with that. And one of those 2 losses, I scored the second highest points in the league with like 245 points, and still lost.
Did you make the playoffs on 7-7?
I don't think I did.
It's hard to tell because before the game started, he was sitting on. Well, in fact, I'll just put this up because this is where we are. So before we started, he was on 9th place on 6 and 7 because between 4th and 9th there was 1 game between them, and I think it's just scoring wise is the difference. So I think you're going to be really unlucky and just miss out. But it's looking good for the consolation playoffs. So. Because you got Darlow Destroyer.
Prize in the consolation playoffs.
No, just to begin Division 3 instead of Division 4.
Oh,
remember
we can both do this.
Yeah, remember you're playing for your divisions, so you got to.
Oh my!
They can completely tank out and end up in Division 4 and work your way up, or you could start Division 3.
Hopefully, I won't get into Division 4.
Johnny, whilst we're looking at it, Johnny, do you know what the highest score overall has been this season? Have you kept track of that at all?
Well,
like the team,
score.
The whole, the highest weekly score there's been.
It's between Tony Harrison and the Dwarf is staying. He's on 2,994 before this week. Carlton Crew and Marwick Head, I think. They were sitting in 4th in their division.
Does it tell you in the history for highest weekly score? Do you know, like a single week?
Someone had 325 a few weeks
ago.
No,
somebody's had 380.
Oh my gosh!
So, because I think in week 2, well, if you watch the bloody Orkney Bowl thing, we'll tell you. I'll have all that done in the off season and all that for the records and stuff like that. But I think 1 week, one team scored 330 points, and that was like the highest ever. Then a week later, some teams scored like 370 or 380 or something.
Yeah, I remember.
It's a crazy amount.
How did someone get 300?
Just because I'm looking at my team now.
I'm happy to get 200.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my team now, and if I put Max Crosby in, I would have had an extra 11.5 points on my IDP. And if I actually played a quarterback, I would have had 47.34 points off Lamar Jackson.
Nice. Yeah.
So technically, I'd be on 250 odd points right now, but I wanted to give the Bankfoot Panthers the chance to get it by in the playoffs. So I thought, I'm going to give them a chance and not play my quarterback.
Yeah. You were just
and it completely backfired.
Well, I can say safely the same thing, because in the Dynasty League of Misfits Pork, I was at a pantomime yesterday and didn't get home until kickoff, and obviously I had Geno Smith on my team, and I'd actually picked up Browning, and obviously Geno was out. By the time I got home, I'd already started, and Browning scored 38 points, and I'm going to end up losing by about 30 odd points in the playoffs. But these things happen, you know what I mean? I was at the family pantomime, which was a good laugh. So, but
working, Johnny, Dolphins. They got 220. That's pretty good in Dynasty.
Yeah. Well, I had I'm projecting to get 167, but I left nearly 40 points on the bench just because I didn't change my quarterback, because I didn't have to realize Gino was out until obviously after it started. By the time I got home.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. You were the second best team all year until the last. You barely missed the bye week, man.
Well, bye weeks and fucking playoffs and bye weeks is a piece of shit, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
bye weeks should really start after the
That's
playoffs.
it. Hey, get this, Pez. He was the number 2 team in the league all season.
Until week 13.
So he would have got the bye this week because we start the playoffs in week 14. As the number 2 team, he would have had the bye. Last week, he lost the second place, so he lost the bye. And then because half his team has a bye this week, he lost the first round of the playoffs. Oh, God.
I actually lost because I think I really lost second place because I wasn't paying attention at the start of the year, and I had one game I had 3 players out. And I lost. That was one of the few games I lost. But it's actually thanks to you because I forgot about this league. So I started playing about it when you mentioned it. So
yeah, I think you would have beat me the week that I beat you if you had made a change at quarterback or something.
yeah, and well, I think for 2 weeks I had Aaron Jones in week 2 and week 3, and not actually had him playing and not playing. So that's where it goes. But next year,
anyway, hey, I love talking about our leagues. I wish we could talk more about some of our leagues, but our listeners are here to talk about the Orkney Bowl and perhaps get some wisdom from Dr. Pez. So, Dr. Pez, how are we doing in this year's Orkney Bowl? Yeah. Such as which player would you rather not face in the playoffs? Like, which guy do you see taking off and being on fire, and you just don't want to play that guy's team at all?
I'd say my season's been terrible, and I'll kind of answer the top and the bottom one because what have I learned going forward is re-looking at my draft. Just don't pick Drake London before Keenan Allen. That's a good start. And to be honest, don't go so high on a quarterback because I went Lamar Jackson first round, and a lot of people did that. A lot of people went because of the scoring system. They went high on quarterback. Unless it's Josh Allen, I genuinely don't think with the scoring system you actually need to. Like I said, unless you got a Josh Allen, I'd say Lamar, but Lamar's been so up and down this year that I had him, and like this 47 points this week, like I said, but then next week couldn't even get 20. Like he's just so up and down. He's so weird. So I think like look at Debo's points this week, 40 points. I honestly think don't get lost in the scoring system too much and big brain your picks. Kind of just go who's like a top guy in fantasy and just go, I'm going to have him, and don't get too carried away with it. There's a few intricacies like the extra point on the tight end. If you've got a top tight end, but they've been all over the place this year, I think it's going to be one of them. Like in the off season when we break down a few of the teams at the very top and see what they did and how they drafted and stuff, it might give us a better insight. But for myself, it's more don't overthink it. Don't just think, because of the scoring system, go quarterback straight away. Just see actually what's on the board before you rush into making your pick so quickly. And because for a while I thought that IDP spot is quite valuable, but then I was looking at it with another guy who plays the league, and we were looking at a few teams, and I think the guy at the bottom of my league went really high on defensive players, and he's right at the bottom. So them IDP spots actually might not be as valuable as I first thought. That's
IDP
what
is more predictable as well.
Actually,
what is that? Sorry,
the IDPs. I mean, they're so unpredictable. They're like a solid RB2. 1 week they're going to break out and get 40 points for you, but usually they're going to get something not like that. 1 week they'll win the week for you, and the rest of the time you just never know what they're going to get. They can get 10 points 1 week and 9 points. You just never know. But if
Sorry.
If
I
you
think
get the right
it's
IDP, it can make a difference. But I agree. I don't think they're that important.
yeah. I think also
looking back,
it's.
the hack.
Have we got a lag? Is there a lag?
No. I'm just every time I'm trying to speak, you speak. So, but I just got to say, the highest scoring team in the week is Kadam goals, 325.91.
Oh my goodness. The highest score of the year is 325. That's a lot, though, man. That's a lot. Wow. So for me, as far as the player, I would not want to play any team that had Kyron Williams down the stretch. I think McVay is wanting to prove a point. He's going to be running the ball, and that guy seems to be scoring points like crazy. I would not want to be playing against that guy in the playoffs.
For me, you make a very solid point here, and the first person that came to my mind was I wouldn't personally want to face CMC. I know it might be an easy pick to pick, but just look at his running. He's got. I'd imagine the guy who has CMC is probably at the top of his league with a bye, but he's got Arizona, Baltimore, and I don't think Baltimore's run defense is that great anymore. And the way they scheme CMC up, he'll still get his points.
Mm-hmm.
And then Washington in the final. If you go into that final and that other guy's got CMC, you've just got to pray to freaking God that he pulls a hammy or something early on.
And the Eagles keep winning. As long as the Eagles keep winning, CMC is going to be playing.
Yeah. Well, the 49ers, not the Eagles.
Well, yeah, but if the Eagles lose and the Cowboys lose,
I'm with you.
It's not so important in the last game against the Commanders that CMC plays, right?
Also, Shanahan's a psychopath and likes to play all his top players to the very end of a game because I swear he just wants to get them injured. He's a bloody idiot, man.
Well, I can remember every year, who was it? The Indianapolis Colts, man. They would always rest their starters, and they'd get beat every year. I'm not a big guy on resting the players, but maybe at halftime, let them sit.
Here's another one for you, Pork. What do you think to this guy? Because he's been very quiet the last couple of weeks, but his stretch is Seattle, Giants, Arizona. And that's A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're talking about Brown, right? Yeah. You know, he's ready. He's primed for a breakout.
Well, he's had a really, since the bye, he's had a really quiet, inaudible point scoring. He's had 4, 16, 23, and 20 this last game. But then if you look at the very start of the year where he had a stretch run of really easy defenses, 18-8, and then 27, 45, 23. And then against another easy defense in the Commanders, 37.5. I'll tell you now for fact, our cornerbacks aren't having the greatest time at the moment. I don't think we'll hold him at bay the whole game because once he starts getting into the middle of the field and starts roaming around, I think he'll start breaking out, getting the opportunities.
Yeah, there you go. Johnny's got AJ. He's saying Tyreek Hill. Yeah, but of course, Tyreek Hill's, certainly. He's going for that record.
Yeah. But you look at the running for the Dolphins, Tennessee should be a really good day. The Jets, he should have another really good day. But then Dallas, Tennessee's not really included because they've got to play tonight. So their playoff run is the Jets, the Cowboys, the Ravens. Now, Tua will get it done, but Tyreek will get it done, but will Tua be able to get it done with them defenses? That's the big question. Even though what Sleeper classes as hard defense, the Dolphins have come up against Denver, the Panthers for some reason, and the Jets, what they class as red really hard. He's had 38, 33, and 32 points.
Nice. Stafford.
So maybe...
I'm going on a sleeper here.
Oh, go on.
I think Cortland Sutton.
Fair enough.
He seems to have found his rhythm with Wilson. And he's been having, I think, 10 touchdowns already this season.
Yeah.
It's a solid year, man.
He's having a monster year this year.
Yeah. I traded him at the beginning of the season for a second. I can't believe I did that. Anyway.
In my home league, I traded him. Well, I dropped him, thinking I'll pick him up the next week. And then my brother sniped him from me, and he's enjoyed that ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you're 2-11 in the Orkney Bowl, man. Moves like that.
No, I'm gonna be 3. 4. I'm a 4.
3-11.
4.
Go, boy.
I'm 4. 1 minute. I'm not being you slighting me. 1 minute. I'm gonna be 4 and 10.
Nice. Hey, man, I can't speak much better. Until I won 6 out of 8. And I think I won those because I kept playing like every team that their quarterback was going down that week. So it's like I just kept winning every week.
My luck in the Orkney Bowl's got a lot better ever since Johnny made me my fancy new logo. I feel like the logo's done me some, some credit.
I'm looking forward to next year. All right, Johnny, what do we got on the next page here, buddy?
What is this?
The
Fantasy Couch with Dr. Pez.
All right, Dr. Pez.
Jesus.
Every time I don't know why, when I say Dr. Pez, I think of the Pez dispenser and your bald head on top of the Pez going.
Every time I talk shit, someone's lifting my head.
Yeah. You're my little Pez dispenser. Dr. Pez.
Oh, fucking hell.
So, Dr. Pez,
With
so many injuries, what injury replacements are you starting during the playoffs? Which ones are you staying away from? For example, tight end. I say Isaiah Likely is a go every week from now on. He scored, I think, 17 points last week or 27. I can't remember. It's something with the 7. And I think Isaiah Likely is proving to be a good replacement for Andrews that continually gets hurt every year. What other guys do you think that we should start or should stay away from?
Well, I was going to say Likely as well, but you are right. He got 27.35 fantasy points last night, 83 yards and a touchdown. He has a tricky-ish schedule in the playoffs. He's got a good first round, but then he plays San Francisco and then Miami. I'm not as scared to play him against Miami than I am San Francisco with the San Francisco defense. He may transition more into a blocking tight end than the receiving tight end we saw last night. So even though he is the one to target, really, you've just got to be careful with putting all your eggs in his basket. Backups wise, it's so hard because by this point they're all kind of taken, aren't they? You could ride the Kyle Pitts train.
Hey,
Kyle Pitts. Well, Kyle Pitts. Funny enough,
he's been getting 15 plus points, I think, on a regular occasion the last 5 or 6 weeks.
He's been getting the targets. Yeah, definitely. These last 2 weeks, 15.3 and an 18.8. 4 receptions, 3 receptions with his touchdown, 57 yards. And then his playoff schedule is the Panthers, the Colts, and the Bears. Now, The thing with Kyle Pitts is, listening to other fantasy podcasts and stuff, they made the point that he doesn't look 100%. From when he got injured last year, he's not playing. He's playing in a certain way, whereas since the bye, he seems to be getting more targets more frequently. What makes you think, is he now a bit more healthier? That if you're in a really bleak situation, he might be your throw-in because his schedule towards the back end isn't actually that bad. And the Falcons are always going to be in every game because they're so close at winning their division. So if he's getting the targets, it might just be, a knock-on effect that you might sneak. Could you imagine if you won your division with Kyle Pitts? That would be hilarious.
Man, I drank the Kool-Aid with Pitts, and I have him on several teams because I was getting him on the cheap. If anyone was trading him for a second, I'm giving you a second for Pitts. And I have him on several teams. He hasn't, I would say that I think he has more solid weeks of 12 plus points than 12 less points. Am I right? Do you have his stats there?
Yeah, 1 minute. I'll go and find him again. Let me find
Let's
it.
see. Let's see. There's
12.
1, 2.
So, 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8 games out of 13 that are all double digits. Now, if we're talking about injuries this late into the season, you're not getting anyone above him. I'll read the list out quickly for the top tight ends in the Orkney Bowl. You've got Hockenson, no chance. Kelsey, no chance. Evan Ingram, no chance. Laporta, no chance. Kittle, Kmet, Njoku, McBride, Ferguson, Kincaid. Mark Andrews is still 11th, even though he's done for the season. Then you hit Kyle Pitts. I reckon Taysom Hill is on more teams than Kyle Pitts is.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I think here when they're thinking injury replacements, I think they're thinking backups like Jake Browning. Is Jake Browning good enough to start during the playoffs? Drew Lock?
Drew Lock probably won't. Depending on... Why won't Browning come up here?
I mean, what injury replacements, meaning the backups that are playing today, right? Like Kyron Williams. He's a backup, actually. I would start him every week.
Do you know, on quarterback, you said Browning?
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he's even available. If he is, then he is.
Would you play him?
Well, look at his games since he's come in. 13, that was the game he took over Burrow. Then 15 against the Steelers. And then 36 and 31. He plays the Vikings. He plays the Vikings, the Steelers again, and the Chiefs. It isn't pretty, but with what will be available on the waiver wire at quarterback, you've got to just pick him and close your eyes. I think he will probably be the best available out there.
I don't think they're looking for the waiver wire replacements. I think they're just asking what backups would you trust? Like, say you had Joe Burrow. Would you play Jake Browning in the playoffs?
Right, I was just thinking whether it was, replacements as in picking up another quarter.
I got you.
Right, so
this is my question.
In that sense,
I did not word it correctly.
No, that's all right. So if it's the backup of that player,
Isaiah Likely is backing up Mark Andrews.
Right, I'm with you. Okay.
Likely is a good play.
Yes, I'd say Browning when we're talking about Orkney Bowl. I think he is. I think as a replacement, he's had 2 good weeks. Saying that though, isn't he dusted as well? Didn't he go off injured?
Browning, I think he did actually. Yeah,
I think
other guy did. But I think he'll be all right. Joe Flacco.
No.
No.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. Nick Mullins. Josh Dobbs.
No, I personally say I'd expect. Is it Jaron Hall, the rookie? Or
Yeah, is he gonna play next week?
I think he'll be back.
I'd play him. Why not? I mean, if I was McConnell, I'd go with the rookie. Why not?
But yeah, Dobbs. So the thing is that the shit situation is Browning, Dobbs, Flacco, all them types of quarterback. I always call them middling quarterbacks because they're the traps, really, because they have a good couple of games, but then teams get enough tape on them. Like Joe Flacco is having 2 really nice games because of the teams he's played. But once he plays an aggressive front seven, he'll be toast. He'll be done. He's 38 years old.
Yeah.
Once he gets hit early, he'll get hit often, and he won't win an over 4. So, for example, the Browns against the Niners front seven, he'd be toast. I wouldn't go anywhere near him. Like, no chance.
Any running back replacements would you backups would you play?
I'd take a punt on because Jacobs went out yesterday. I don't know how bad his injury is, but I'd take a punt on the Raiders backup running backs. That Zamir White's never really had the chance to show whether he can do it, but Abdullah has shown that he potentially could. So, if we're talking about the backup, and we're this late into the season, if I do just kind of blend them in with the waiver wire, I would go with the backup of Jacobs, just because of the way that team functions. I think they'll just get enough work that will probably sneak you into a nice week.
Madison, I think, came out injured, and Ty Chandler took a lot of snaps. Ty Chandler worth playing?
Yeah.
If you're looking for an RB2 or your flex, deep flex,
he definitely is. He was getting a lot of targets in the passing dump offs and stuff like that. And look at Dobbs, Mullins, Hall. You'll expect him to get loads of them off all 3 of them. So he could just PPR his way into a decent enough game when you're talking about a replacement this deep into the season. So yeah, he's definitely worth a pickup if Madison is out for a long time.
This is definitely the season that I've noticed teams with a deep bench have generally been the teams that win.
Yeah.
Because, there's so many star players that have gone down this season. The teams that had JJ, man, they're cursing him right now.
Dobbs has got him killed. What is he doing over the middle of the field, man?
Oh, my God. Yeah. But yeah, to me, the hit didn't look that ferocious, but it hit him right in the open part. Right?
Yeah.
And I can just imagine the pain that, someone coming in full speed and hitting you with a hard piece of plastic. Yeah. I can just imagine 100%. What that would feel like.
But you make a very valid point. Them Vikings receivers,
Osborne,
Addison, you can't really talk about him, but Osborne, you've got Powell, who's like kind of just Addison. Like a bit part. Well, you can't really talk about Addison because realistically he's going to be rostered, isn't he? Like, he's not really the backup. He is like essentially the 1B because Justin. Right, yeah. But he technically is the 1B because Jefferson's the 1A at this point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, JJ's been out that long. Addison technically is the 1 because he's been so absent.
He is, yes. Which Addison, I think next year could have one of those breakout years, man. Depending on who the quarterback is for Minnesota. If Cousins comes back, I'll be all over Addison.
Yeah, because if you think about JJ when he had Thielen there, it worked better for him. Like, to just not always be hyper target. And you got Hawkinson and you got a decent 3-headed monster. But like I said, you need that quarterback.
And if I was a Vikings fan, I would be concerned about JJ being on my team next year. The Vikings management has shown repeatedly in years past they don't pay wide receiver ones. They got rid of Moss. They got rid of Harvin. They got rid of Diggs. Now they got JJ. When he's asking for that 40 mil per year, I can see them.
He's already
thank you, Addison.
He's already stated, hasn't he, that if they don't re-sign Cousins, he's more tempted to go wherever Cousins goes because he likes the partnership with him.
Yeah,
that's what apparently came out and said before the start of the season.
Quarterbacks is that so much to a wide receiver?
Yep. Is there anyone else you want to hit on in this out of this list?
I'm okay. I think we did a pretty exhaustive list on that anyway. Pretty good topic.
Yep.
Johnny, let's see what we got. Up here next. What players? Top 15 players, mind you, in scoring. Perhaps not position by position, just the top 15. Would you be most concerned about down the stretch? Maybe we don't need to go position by position here, but
no.
If you're looking at the top 15 scorers, I think you could probably name a few that might cause some concern or heartburn if you have to play.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look now. Do you know? Here's one for you. Here's one for you in Oatmeal Bowl scoring. The 10th overall player on the year, Keenan Allen. If I had Keenan Allen, I'd be scared.
Yeah,
I'd be really scared. Really, he stands out. And do you know another one for how good he's been? If you've got CJ Stroud.
That's what I was thinking.
Be very, very cautious. He has look what happened to him last night. 0 weapons, couldn't move the ball. He lost his 3 main weapons, got nothing going. He's in concussion protocol. They've got the Titans, the Browns, the Titans. With no Tank Dell, Harbad's Nico Collins. Sorry, my dog's kicking off because she thinks she's...
His top 3 wide receivers are all hurt. Lawrence is going to play, right? Lawrence is actually going to play with his high ankle sprain. Herbert, I think he's out for the season. Why risk your $45 million quarterback for a lost season?
Herbert's done for the season, yeah. So he's no point even talking about because he's done.
I would be worried about Quentin Johnston or Allen or any of those guys on the San Diego team at this point. Palmer, I would not play any of them.
But none of them are top 15 except for Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is the biggest one on this list because Oatmeal Bowl scoring, the list ends with Trevor Lawrence. And to be fair, Trevor Lawrence surprised me. 30 points he put up on a bad ankle in Oatmeal Bowl scoring. He has the Ravens, but the Ravens he got nothing going the whole game. And then in the second half, almost like he got his confidence on his ankle and he was running, he was doing it. It didn't look like he was bothered. So the Ravens defense doesn't worry me because he proved it against the Browns defense and they were playing tough. Then he has the Bucs, what isn't as intimidating as it used to be. And then his final week is against the Panthers. So I'm not that worried about Trevor Lawrence because of what he showed me last night. But Stroud and Keenan Allen are the ones in overall ranking are the ones who scare me the most.
I like the Allen.
Also, Chuck Tua in there as well. As an individual, he's got the Titans. He should have a good game against the Titans. He's got the Jets, where he only scored 13 points in Oatmeal Bowl scoring. The first week of your playoffs. So you got to be careful with that. Then he goes to Dallas. shouldn't be too bad because that could just turn into a shootout. And then he finishes on Baltimore. So I'd be really careful with.
That's a tough finish.
Yeah. So I'd say them. I'd say Keenan Allen
like
is the number one for me.
Man.
Keenan Allen is the number one for me, though.
I agree, 100%.
Do you want a tight end?
Yeah.
I chuck a tight end in there. Actually, Hawkinson. I was going to say Hawkinson, but I think the schedule is the teams are easy enough that no matter who, if it's Mullins, Dobbs, or Hall, I reckon he'll be all right. I think he'll be safe. But still, Hawkinson, just keep a little thing, just pay attention to who the quarterback is. And maybe if you've got a backup who has a better schedule, maybe even don't get fooled by the name. Don't go, it's Hawkinson, so I've got to play him because that quarterback could kill him. Like last night. What did he get last night? 16. In opening ball scoring, compared to the rest of his year, he's only scored less than 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times out of 13 weeks, less than 20 points. And a lot of his points are high 20s, 30s into 40s.
Yeah, I have
16
Hawkinson.
points.
I love it, man. He's been great. I love him.
He is great, but just be careful. Just be careful with that quarterback situation.
Yeah, it's the time of the year that you always have 1 or 2 teams that have dominated the fantasy regular season league, right? And then the playoffs come, and you have some 6-7 or 7-6 team that barely squeaked in the playoffs that just comes in and murders everybody the last 3 weeks of the season and wins the championship. It always seems to be that way.
If you want one, because obviously when we next record, we'll be in the first week of the playoffs. I'll just chuck a little extra question to you, Pork, but I'll give my answer. The player I think who's not in the top 15, but who will end up in the top 15 and potentially win someone their league is AJ Brown. I'm quite confident he's going to finish really hot at the back end of the year.
I think that can certainly be a solid choice. And I will have to think about this and give you that answer next week. Yeah. All right, Johnny, what do we got next?
I'll let you have a week of the playoffs to cheat and get your guy in.
Let me think about that one. Titans versus Dolphins. And if we're all picking the same team, then somebody's got to switch it because every time we have the same team, we lose.
Where are you, Johnny?
I'm going with the Dolphins.
Let me have a think about this one. Let me have a think.
Johnny, you're going with the Titans,
Dolphins.
So I'm going the Dolphins.
Right? No.
Yeah.
I've already filled in my form, so I'm always going the Dolphins. So.
Well, you know.
Dolphins.
Are gonna win.
And I'm going for the Packers tonight for the other one. So.
Oh yeah, there's 2, isn't there? Yeah, Packers and Dolphins. Keep forgetting there's 2.
Yeah, I'm going Packers as well.
Jalen Reed 2 touchdowns.
Oh my!
No debate on tonight. It'll be Packers and Dolphins. So.
Oh my!
We still can't catch Johnny.
Still can't catch him.
No.
I think we'll be
Thanks to that 2 weeks ago, but yeah. So we've got obviously next up it will be
lock of the week. Oh, I need to get my score line.
Well, I'm going to go the Rams. I'll check, and I've already checked them in the background. I could play the time of it. There's a few It's harder to get an underdog this week than probably a lot, to be honest.
Right.
Lock.
Did we send it? All right, yeah, here we go. We got Johnny's. Okay. All right, let me take a look here.
Remember the 3 games on Saturday this week as well.
Oh yeah.
On Saturday, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out this Saturday as well. I'm going to be loads of fun.
Lock of the week. Oh my!
I'm hoping to be home in time for the kickoff of the first game. So yeah, it's bad enough on a Sunday to try to get the team ready. Never mind a bloody Saturday too.
Lock of the
I don't
week,
like-
Packers. Did you go Packers?
No, I went Rams.
Packers.
Boy. Wow! The Bills are 1.5 favorites over the Cowboys.
Is it? Jesus.
That's underdog written all over it, innit? Them Bills are no good. Cowboys are going to destroy them.
Oh my! Well, I was going to take the Packers. Now I can't take the Packers. All right, I will go with the Falcons. Why not? They were my division title choice. They need the victory. Go Falcons as my lock of the week over
Very
the
good.
Panther. Underdog of the week. Ooh, I don't like any of these choices.
Well, I'm going to go the Broncos. See if we get the 2 in a row. They just got a 2-game head start in this one.
Yeah.
I've got a 2-game head
Pork,
start.
sorry. No,
Oh, Pork
Pork's got
has.
a 2-game lead in this one.
I got fucking overexcited then. Underdog.
Sorry, get you excited on there. So.
I don't like any of these.
I know I said it's not a good choice. Well, you could always go the Cowboys, even though it's not lock of the week, it's underdog.
Can't do your own team, can you?
Yeah, but you can do it.
I don't
All
want
right,
to
I
jinx
am
his
going
team.
to go with the Chargers.
Please do, Chargers. You jinxed your team last week, this week, so you got to jinx his team.
Oh my gosh, I really don't like any of these teams.
Well,
Do you know
if
who I'm
get
going to
it-
go for?
Who's that? Eyebrows?
The Broncos against the Lions.
No, I wanted to pick team. You can't go them two. You bugger.
You're going Broncos.
No, I'll change
All
it.
right.
I'll change it. I
No,
don't want to
no,
be the
no,
same
you
as
get
him.
Broncos.
I want to try and catch him.
Yeah, see, I
So I
can't
don't
choose
wanna-
the same as everyone because I gotta stay ahead, or I gotta
Fuck's
catch up with
sake,
Giants.
let's say it's-
No, you're in the lead in this one there. Pork. You're 7. Correct. I'm 5.
Do you
And
do you
then
have
underdog.
a line for the Texans?
No.
The Texans are underdogs. The Titans are 1.5 point favorites.
The Titans are.
Yeah, Texans
Oh,
at
yeah, 'cause
Titans.
fucking
Titans are 1.5 point favorites because CJ Stroud, I think, got injured. So it depends
Yeah,
on
he's
how bad he is.
yeah, it might be
in
in concussion.
concussion protocol, so yeah, he might not be playing.
And he's lost all of his weapons.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Because their defense is quietly getting better as each week goes on. This is fucking crazy. I'm going the Bears.
Yeah,
Boom.
I was thinking the Bears. Fields didn't look so bad. Didn't look half bad.
Who are the Bears playing?
As long as they
Bears
game
over
plan
the
it right
Browns.
and
With the Flacco, yeah.
game
yeah.
plan Fields to run, the Bears get to Flacco. Like I said early and often, they could just dogfight their way through that game. Because the Jags nearly came back on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was quite. That was a bit
Man,
crazy that they went for it on 4th down.
Realistically, Fields is going to get picked about 3 times and we'll all go to rat shit, but it's all right.
Oh,
It was a
I
bit of
just
a
know
test.
that the last 3-4 weeks of this season is going to be crazy. We're going to have people going for records. You're going to have backups to backups, playing for, for playoff teams. It's crazy. It's crazy. You got 3 10-3 teams in the NFC. The Dolphins have home field advantage right now in the AFC. Wow. The Chiefs are 8-5.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it?
And the Bills.
That AFC is
What are the
off
Bills
its head.
doing?
AFC
one
is off
quarter,
its
they
head.
look like they're a Super Bowl team. Then another quarter, you're like, who is this the year? The late 90s Bills playing?
Cowboys first seed. When the Niners lose to the Ravens in 2 weeks and the Cowboys beat the Bills and Dolphins, how are you feeling then, Pork? Home field advantage.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. Playoff football's already started. That's what I like to hear. A little
Look
Dr.
at that
Pez
AFC.
Pork.
10-3, 9-3. So realistically, that's going to be 2 10-3 teams. 8-5, 8-5, 8-5, 7-6. Fucking hell. That is outrageous. What's that?
7 and 6 teams, I think.
So it's like 11 teams. 11 teams in the AFC can all make the playoffs. That's fucking insane.
That's good fun, though, man. That's good fun. Only 5 teams are eliminated in the AFC. That's good stuff. I like it.
Technically, they're not even eliminated. They're only, granted, they are. The Chargers, the Raiders, and the Jets are only 2 games back from 2 teams. There's 2 teams realistically who are, and that's the Titans, who are 4-8 and probably 4-9, and the Patriots, who are 3-10.
Yeah, the Patriots got eliminated yesterday. That made the
Jets, Raiders, and Chargers technically could still make it. Like the Chargers realistically aren't, because they've just lost Herbert. The Raiders are so up and down, and the Jets are the Jets, so they're not going to do it. But it's fucking insane. That is crazy.
Zach
the majority
Wilson,
of
300 plus yards, man.
I know, they're slinging it. I'd love nothing more. I'd love nothing more than him to somehow make it back into the playoffs. They make my season.
And then he'll throw 5 interceptions in the first half. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. He'll play like an MVP for the next 4 weeks. In the first pass, pick 6.
Yeah. He's turned a new leaf. He's turned a new leaf. Benched.
This hasn't been a bit different show, but I had a great time talking with you guys about football and about the playoffs for the Orkney Bowl. Congrats to Johnny for making the playoffs. And Pez, you and I might be in the same league next year, so I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys next week after our first week of the Orkney Bowl playoffs. See you next time.
Bye now.
Out for now.
See you later.
Later, my friends.